All right, today's the day. Today's the first time we ever process our Cornish cross chickens and start raising our own meat. Here we go.
All right, it's time to give these chickens their last meal. What do you think, guys? As timing would have it, we ran out of their feed, so we're using some from our egg layer stock to give them some because it doesn't make any sense to go get new feed for them since today's their last day eating. Top them off with this, and then that's it.
It's now been officially over 8 weeks that we've had these Cornish cross chickens here at our homestead, and it's been an experience. It's been different than dealing with our egg layers that we were really used to having, seeing the different breed and seeing the different ways that they act and realizing how fast these guys grow, and their purpose is to be bred so that people can raise their own meat, and just seeing the way that they act and all those things aside, today's the day that we have to try to get all these emotions in check, because this is just one of those days that, like I said, is that you don't want to take for granted, you want to be grateful for, but at the same time you got to understand the respect that you're going to have for these chickens. So here we go. This is it. Exciting and nervous at the same time, but let's do it.
This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within.
Last one, now we're done. Alright guys, here we go.
Tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Alright, we are back from our first time ever processing our Cornish cross chicken. Before we get into explaining how it was and how it went, which it did go well, we have to weigh all the chickens and we'll average out the 9 of them and see what we got. And Chelsea actually just weighed the very first one, which we assume is the biggest one of them, which was over 6 pounds. And let's just do the rest of them, average them out, and we'll see what we got for the 9 of them.
On my face, all that ever was is.
We got all the weights, now we just got to put them in here and calculate them and see what we get. You guys take your guesses at home what you think it's going to end up being, the average. Almost 5.5 pounds each. That's a pretty good weight. Now it's time to beef up our egg layers here with some table scraps. Oh, it's kind of weird coming out here now and not seeing any chickens in this tractor here. Kind of gives you that empty feeling that like you were used to seeing 9 chickens in here moving around, and now nothing. So we'll have to move it towards the back of the property and just kind of put it away for a little bit. We don't plan on getting any new chickens like this for a little bit. Probably not for the rest of the season, so we'll probably wait till after winter now before we do this again. We previously bought 10 chickens from a farm before this, plus we just had our 9 that we just processed, so we have 19 full chickens. Definitely not a rush to have to get any more at this moment. We're excited that it's done with. We're happy that we learned a new valuable skill that we can now apply to our homestead and hopefully teach other people to apply to their homesteads in the future. I would definitely say this is something that going through for the very first time for us really benefited us to have somebody be able to teach us hands-on and be able to just have that reassurance that everything that we're doing is the right way to do it. Although I know that there's many different kind of setups, many different ways that you can process chickens, different styles, different techniques. It's just nice to know that somebody else has done it this way before and they're able to teach that to you. But now what you can do is use all these skills that we were blessed to have taught to us today and be able to apply them ourselves and then find ways that maybe that that didn't work that well for us there, but now that we can try to modify that might work for us here at our homestead. So today the whole process was, some things were really easy to do, and then some things were a little bit harder to do. And I think that's just something that you have to build up over time. And anything that has to do with this kind of process and this kind of nature, just gotta understand that we took care of these chickens for about 8 weeks, and everything that they are gonna be given for us, for our family now, and just being truly understanding and taking that whole situation in there. I think everything today, for us being our first time, went really smooth. The kids were able to come. The kids actually helped out a little bit with hosing down the chickens and turning the plucker on and off and just doing those little things, but just being present and being there. So I'm hoping that these aren't experiences that are gonna scar them, and I'm hoping that they're experiences that are gonna show them the respect and just show them and appreciate kind of where our food comes from, and to gather a more understanding of that. And once again, we were just very, very, very thankful to be able to have somebody to teach us it. And now we have 9 chickens that are going to be going to our freezer that is going to help supply food for our family and gets us that one step closer to being even more self-sufficient. So we're very thankful for that. Alright, you guys saw in the previous vlog. Now we have Chickadee over here who's in our coop, who she went broody and now is sitting on eggs. And now we have Rosie, who is a Rhode Island Red. So we have a Buff Orpington Chickadee, Rhode Island Red Rosie, and they are both sitting on some eggs. Now that we just got our rooster about a month ago, who knows how many chicks might hatch out. I mean, you can't even tell if any of those are all fertilized or not. So we are okay comfortable wise right now with the amount of eggs that we're getting. So it's not any kind of rush to need them to get off the eggs or anything like that. And I think we'd be comfortable with getting a few extra egg layers in here, or having anybody taking any roosters that are extra. Now that we've processed today, maybe process any of the extra roosters that we can't get rid of. I mean, I'm not sure yet. This is all just ideas flipping around in my head right now. So it is something that is going on. We are up to 2 broody girls here now. All right, talking about eggs, now that we just got eggs and we have chickens sitting on eggs. Today, I have a great story, and I'm curious if anyone ever had this happen when they were processing chickens. As we were helping out, there was actually a third party that showed up, and they had about 5, maybe 6 roosters, I think it was, that they wanted to process. We had 2 batches of Cornish cross chickens. I think we had 9. The family we did it with, I think, had 16, and then we had about 5 roosters that we were gonna do. When it came down to do the 5 roosters, I ended up getting one of the chickens. And as I was doing my cutting on them, reaching out to pull anything out of the insides out, there was these little balls in there that were like little orange balls. And they were actually yolk sacs, little eggs that were not yet ready to grow in and have a shell. And it was funny because no one's really ever seen it before when we were there. So the rooster that we thought was a rooster was actually a hen. And as I was still reaching in there, I reached in, felt something really hard in there. And as I pulled it out, an egg with a shell and everything inside it. Very unfortunate for that hen. One mistaken to be a rooster and ended up coming along, and then was just about to start laying eggs. I think they were around 18 weeks old is what he thought they were all about. So thought that it was a rooster, and also unfortunately was about to start laying eggs. But it was weird to just pull out a real shell egg out of that chicken after, like, you kind of just see it as like a chicken that you'd buy in a store at that point, and feeling an egg inside it. It was kind of weird, but really cool kind of first time processing story. So that's something that I guess I'll live with forever now, is I pulled out an egg that had a shell and everything on it. So there's my crazy story for the day. So our first time ever processing chickens is officially complete. The day is done. We have them chilling in the fridge right now. It says it's good for them to rest kind of more in a fridge environment for about 2 days afterwards before you start freezing them to help the meat. We are now excited to do this ourselves, try it out, figure out how it works for us, and anytime that you can start adding more skills like this to try to be more self-sufficient, it feels like a good day. We did get Cornish cross chickens, and I'm thinking we won't get Cornish cross chickens again, but I think that's a topic for another video. So I'm gonna leave you guys at that, and you guys have a great day and a better tomorrow. We'll see you in the next one. See you guys.